Welcome back to the Doorkickers Player channel. This is Mission 69, Luigi's Dock Warehouse Breakdown. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to watch a quick little montage of all of my attempts playing this. Now, this took me about 10 minutes to figure out, so it went pretty quickly. I mentioned in previous videos, you'll have one hard mission and then a few easy ones. That's just the way that they develop the game, and I think that that's pretty smart because it keeps you entertained, feeling good about yourself, and then something comes along and makes it super difficult for you. So I think it's pretty neat. This is an arrest warrant mission, which means that we can either arrest the suspect or take out all the tangos. I don't know what comes first. We're gonna go ahead, watch a quick little montage of all of my attempts on 100x speed. Then we're gonna go into the breakdown, talk about everything going on. And then after that, we're going to watch the replay and see it play out in real time. Enough said, let's go ahead and watch the montage. All right, so we're working with 4 operators, and I don't know which weapons they're using, but I can definitely say that we're using the right weapons for this mission. And that's something that I've mentioned as well many times. You have to choose the right weapons for the right missions. Not all weapons are good for every mission, and sometimes you need them to go a little slower with better weapons. Sometimes you need to have them go faster. So it kind of just depends on the mission. Now, this one is a little bit tricky. So we have 2 options here. We have either we can enter from the Delta side, or we can enter from the Alpha side. Now, the reason I entered from the Alpha side is because the Alpha side, when you enter, it's a hallway. And a hallway means less opportunity for threats. And especially because it's a corner fed hallway, we can have operators enter, and after they've entered, start clearing the rest of the hallway and the rest of the house. Whereas if we enter from the Delta side, we have to start clearing the entire house immediately, the entire building immediately, which is pretty difficult and can cause operators to get injured. So the best option here is to enter from the Alpha side, start clearing that, and then make your way through the rest of the building. Enough said, let's go ahead. So we are watching this in 0.75 speed, so it's going a little slower than it did in real time for me. And that's so that I can talk about everything going on. Like, for example, the reason I'm picking the lock and not breaking it down or using a door blast is because I want to attract the least amount of attention to the operators while they're still entering. Once they've entered and they start engaging the suspects, like you can see, we have the option to let tangos get attracted because now we're sort of in a position. Now, I did make a mistake here. I've got operator 1 facing towards the Delta Charlie side, which is a big mistake because there could have been a tango on the Bravo side of that hallway, and that would have just been a big mistake and cause operator 1 to get fatally injured. Now, operator 2 was able to start engaging that target, which was great. And then once operator 1 was in the line of sight of operator 2, or blocking the line of sight, that's when operator 2 moved on and started taking out the targets on the Delta side. So that was done pretty well, except for the fact that operator 1 did not clear the Bravo side of that hallway when he was passing through. Now, this is another mistake that I'm making here. I've got operators 3 and 4. Operator 3 is hooking into this room right here. And what I should have done, because I had the option to and the opportunity, I should have had them flow into that room because it's not a corner fed room. And when a room is center fed and not corner fed, it's better to have, if you have 2 operators, it's better to have them flow. Now, for this corner fed room that they're entering on the Alpha Bravo corner, You can either hook or flow. It doesn't make a difference. And as you can see, we've got 2 Tingos in this Alpha Bravo room, which is causing a little bit of an issue now. Back to operators 1 and 2. They're doing a great job of walking in formation side by side and dealing with any Tingos that might be on the Charlie Delta corner of that room. And so now that we have another center fed hallway, we're going to have operators 3 and 4 flow into that hallway and start clearing rooms on the Bravo side of the map of the building. As you can see, having operator 1 clear the Delta side first while operator 2 catches up and starts clearing the rest was a great choice. And now what we're going to do is we're going to have operator 2 hook into that hallway, clear that hallway while operator 1 goes and clears the rest of the Charlie Delta room. Now this technically is a mistake. Operator 1 should have flowed and gotten into that hallway to clear any Tingos, and operator 2 should have kept moving towards the Charlie Delta corner, but that's a mistake that's okay to make. It's not that big of a deal in this situation because operators 1 and 2 were so close anyways. Now, this is actually really smart. I'm having operators 3 and 4 throw flashbangs into their rooms, and this could potentially pose a threat because they are technically in the line of sight of the opposite rooms. However, this is the best way to do it without having them exposed too much, right? Because you only have 1 operator for each room, and because of that, you kind of have to just hope that it works. You kind of have to just open the door and throw in a flashbang. That's just your best bet. There's really no other way to put it. As you can see, it worked beautifully. There was a little bit of a worry that there might be Tingos that were right by the door, but when you have 2 operators and you have to clear rooms on both sides of that hallway, throwing in a flashbang and hooking is your best option. And so now that operator 1 has cleared the entire Charlie Delta side of the building, he's going to go ahead and join operator 2. And in the meantime, operator 2 is just going to clear that bathroom area. Now you can see operator 3 is clearing the Bravo side of this building, and there's a corner fed room, so he's going to hook into that room and clear any Tingos that might be there. And now we've got operator 4 stopping right by the corner, and that's a beautiful position to have because there are very few threats coming from the Delta side of that hallway, and any threats that are coming from the Delta side of that hallway he can take care of. And in the meantime, he's got cover from the Bravo side of that hallway. So this position for operator 4 is a great position. As you can see, he's able to take out that Tango on the Charlie side of that hallway, on the Charlie Delta side of that hallway, while maintaining cover and concealment from anything that might be on that Bravo side hallway. So now operators 1 and 2 are joining operators 3 and 4. And this is a mistake. I'm having operator 4 hook, which is a mistake. I should have operator 3 flow. And this is kind of another mistake. Because this is a corner fed room on the Charlie side, but you're coming in from the Alpha side, you should throw flashbang first, and then have 2 operators breach that room and move in. That is the correct tactic. And also what I'm doing with operators 4 and 2 is a mistake because I'm having operator 4 hook, which is a mistake in the first place. And even if I did have operator 4 hook, I should have had I should have operator 2 get in closer and then move. So there was a bunch of mistakes made. Now, I did do something smart. I did have operator 3 wait for operator 1, and so that was the right decision to make. And that provided the most amount of cover for that room. But the general tactics that were used in this mission were mistakes that shouldn't have been made. And so now I'm just planning a route to get the suspect to the rescue zone. And that's it. Mission is over. There were a lot of tactical mistakes made. I will say that, it's like I mentioned in the previous mission, sometimes you can just make mistakes and get away with it, but you should still practice using the right tactics. And even though there's a crunch for time, you should still try to use the correct tactics. I'm not entirely sure why I'm not using the correct tactics here. Maybe I was tired or something, but I definitely should have been flowing instead of hooking a lot. Sometimes hooking can be useful, but if you're not throwing a flashbang, it's better to flow. All right, well, that's it for the breakdown. Let's go ahead and watch the replay.
Lock and load. Let's do this. Door unlocked. Moving. Down. Hold up, moving. In position. Tango down. Covering. Flash out. Holding. Tango down. On target. X-ray down. Holding. Moving. Eyes on the target. Hands behind your back. Time to go. Primary target secured.
Good job. We're done here.
All right, well, if you enjoyed that video, make sure to leave a like. If you want to see more of these kinds of videos, make sure you subscribe. If there's anything that you guys want to see or hear about in future videos, feel free to let me know in the comment section down below. And I'll see y'all in the next video.